You need a machete.
Oh, no, that's terrible.
It's a rubber one.
Gosh.
Just a rubber machete.
A rubber.
I don't want anyone to get hurt.
Humor.
Hi,
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Artichoke. Is there anyone here for the first time? Oh my gosh.
That's great.
That makes me so happy. Thank you, Craig.
I was raising my hand. Like I've been
I
here before,
know.
but I couldn't help it.
Oh, I have people that come here 3 times a month that raise their hands. But anyway,
But
welcome.
That's a memory thing, though.
It is, yeah. You're right.
Kind of sad.
And I also want to thank those of you who continue to come back. Couple things. We are live streaming and doing video today, so if you would like to turn your devices off, that would be great, or put them on silent or airplane mode, whatever works. We have 3 restrooms in the building. There's one right here in the venue. Probably don't want to use it during the show. That is your choice. It is soundproof.
I will talk to you if you come to that bathroom during the show.
We can have the horn like they used to have at that place on Broadway.
You'll think you're being so sly. I'm not above stopping in the middle of a song.
We should take this act on the road. The other 2 restrooms, in the instrument store that's on the other side of this wall, the very back wall has a restroom. And also there's one upstairs if you'd like to get your steps in. And the steps aren't bad. They're really good. Couple things. You may not know that we are a 501c3 nonprofit. So if you are ever looking for tax advantages, please consider us. The other thing is most of you probably came here because of Craig's email list. If you would also like to be on our email list, we have a handy-dandy little sign up at the back. And the other thing, if you have people older than you, probably, who don't like to drive at night, we have afternoon shows. So just put that little bug in your bonnet. And those shows are free for anybody who has a SNAP EBT card, because not everybody can afford what you guys paid to see him, even though he's worth so much more.
What you overpaid.
Yeah.
Really, quite frankly, I know you're all thinking that.
2 sold-out shows? I don't think so, Craig. Anyway, that's my spiel. So grateful that Craig is playing here now, and hopefully often, and we're looking for other ways to involve him. Now I'm going to embarrass you. I keep putting those things out there.
Good luck with that.
I know. I'm going to keep trying. Well, I won't say it here because you have another show to do tonight. I don't want to piss you off. Okay. Anyway, we've all come here to hear Craig, and we know what songs, some of the songs we're going to hear. I hope once in these 2 shows we hear Schenectady.
Okay,
That's my favorite story. Anyway, thank you all for coming. Let's hear Craig Carothers.
Thank you. Thank you, Sheryl. I believe we have taken this on the road. That's what this is. That's what this is for me. Yeah. So, hi. It's amazing who's here today. There are some people here who came to my very, very, very first public appearances when I was playing at a place called Flight 181. And there are people I've known for, I known you guys for, that's like 50 years, isn't it? That's crazy. So this is my last show. You gotta know when to turn it in, you know. Sometimes I could be a drama queen, head for the bottom like a submarine, but you pull me to the surface and you help me breathe. That's how easy it goes. I'm dancing to a different drum, steady and slow. I've learned to take it as it comes. That's how easy goes. That's how easy goes. Sunday morning sleeping in, you bring me coffee in bed again. Now I'm laying next to you, skin on skin. That's how easy goes. I'm dancing to a different drum, steady and slow. I've learned to take it as it comes. That's how easy goes. Yeah, my crazy days are done, and now I know you gotta take it as it comes. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. That's how easy goes. That's how easy goes. I used to be wound so tight, burned out days and restless nights. Then I met you, now I'm all right. That's how easy goes. Thank you. Oftentimes I interrupted that song to tell the story of that song. I just didn't feel like it. And if you've seen it 25 times before, always interrupting the song again. I wrote this song with a young woman named Sheryl Colvin, and she's from Birmingham. I hope, it's such a weird, the music business is so weird. I hope that you eventually hear of her, from her, because she's the real deal. Great singer, great songwriter, great guitar player, cute as a bug, great person, and I don't know what else it takes, luck. But we wrote this song, and it was our first time we got together. We wrote this song. It was really fun. Kathy came home from work, and she said, "So how'd it go today?" And I went, And she said, "So you and Shelley didn't hit it off?" I said, "No, we had a great time." She goes, "Oh, just one of those days where nothing really happens, you don't really get a song." I said, "No, we wrote a great song." And she goes, "I'm not doing it this way. I'm not good at, it's not 20 questions. Just tell me why you're going, I said, "Well, we wrote a chick song." She goes, "What do you mean you wrote a chick song?" I said, "Well, I played it for her." And she goes, "Okay, like I said, what do you mean you wrote a chick song?" I said, "Well, there's some songs that are just more for women to sing than for men. I'm not being a sexist about it. Kim Ritchie and Maia Sharp have this great song, 'I Put On My Red Dress.' Okay, I can sing that song. It's kind of a different message of empowerment than originally intended, but kind of more intended for a woman to sing, okay? I'm a man, yes I am, and okay, there's some songs, they're just branded with gender. They just are. I know it's a modern world, but it's true. So she said, "Okay, what? What is it that makes that a chick song?" I said, "Well, it's that sometimes I could be a drama queen." And like totally deadpan, she says, "And that's a problem for you because..." I stomped off in a huff. And I yelled back over my shoulder, "If you don't know what's wrong, I'm not going to tell you." I can't remember how it felt to learn of that conveyor belt that snakes through this little town down to the sea. I didn't then connect the dots or anticipate the twisted plot or fathom all that it would mean, that it could mean to me. Then came a sorry situation, fraught and full of complications. Sometimes necessity presents a remedy of elegance. There's nothing like the universal solvent. Nothing else will turn the tide so quick. No turning back, no time to think. Just drop your burden in the drink. It's that or the gallows, take your pick. This good old H2O will always do the trick. Well, this has worked for men like me for more than 1,000 centuries. Mother Nature saves the day, cleaning up our mess. And as the current rushes by, there's barely time to say goodbye. We walk away and wash our hands with no need to confess. Just a momentary shiver as you cast your fate into the river. And honestly, it works just like a dream, extending all the evidence downstream. 'Cause there's nothing like the universal solvent. Nothing else will turn the tide so quick. One splash and all your worldly woes are swiftly going with the flow. Subtraction is the best arithmetic. And good old H2O will always do the trick. Bon voyage to all your troubles, submerging in a swirling cloud of bubbles, and sinking slowly down into the deep. And just go home and get a good night's sleep. 'Cause there's nothing like the universal solvent. Nothing else will turn the tide so quick. Bundle up your Waterloo and launch it toward the bounding blue. Now let's see him try and make the charges stick. 'Cause good old H2O will always do the trick. Good old H2O will always do, if you've got the stones to see it through. H2O will always do the trick. Thank you. You know, I thought it's weird to be doing this at 3 p.m. And then I got here and I looked around and there were other people drinking and I thought, okay, it's not so weird. It's not so weird. I heard somebody say that brunch is because you can't afford both breakfast and lunch. I think it's that you like to drink early in the day. That's really what I think brunch is all about. A man can always see the love in a woman's eyes. That look says more than words could ever say. And watching you put your makeup on tonight, I realize I've never felt this way. 'Cause you're the only one. You're the only one. You're the only one who loves you more than me. You love everything about you, and you can't live without you. Girl, I know exactly how you feel. 'Cause I think you're amazing, and I know you agree. You're the only one who loves you more than me. If you're lucky enough to be here this afternoon with your special someone, my advice is that for the remainder of the song, you do not make eye contact. Well, I've never been the kind who's ruled by jealousy. When doubt creeps in your heart, it's such a shame. But there's never been a doubt that you and I were meant to be. 'Cause when we make love, we both call out your name. You love everything about you, and you can't live without you. Girl, you know exactly how I feel. 'Cause you think you're amazing, and you know I agree. You're the only one. You're the only one. You're the only one who loves you more than me. Now, I must tell you that when I make that little warning, that little admonition, there are 3 responses that couples make in every audience, everywhere in America that I've ever played the song. There's the couple that immediately go, like they think, well, maybe we shouldn't make eye contact. There's the couple who are so ridiculously, they go, that doesn't apply to us. And then there's the third group that's just like the second group until they lock eyes. That doesn't apply. And there's always all 3 couples in every audience. It's crazy. I gave her 2 keys in case she lost one. And I gave her my word. I've been all in since day one. No doubt of my intentions. No, my heart isn't shy. From scribbled love notes to cursive in the sky. She's never on time, but I'm glad that I waited. And she is wise in her ways, and yet understated. Like music, her love is measured by the space. Ah, but silence to me feels like running in place. She said she loved me, but only shows it half the time. And I'd never let love flicker if the choice were only mine. I'd turn the flame up quicker. But there she is, surrendering to what she can't control. Now she's being cool, she's going with the flow. Oh, how little I know. And when she can't make up her mind, she disappears for days. And all that she leaves behind is a mysterious haze. So I guess hibernation isn't just for the bears. And once in a blue moon should be enough to know she cares. Proof that she loves me. But then she's in the wind, the first time of stormy weather, and I'm in the dark again, trying to pull myself together. She knows who she is and where she wants to go. Me, I'm more concerned with what I need than what I owe. How little I know. I could feel her goodbye before over was spoken. Still I can't talk myself out of being heartbroken. There was always the chance that I would end up getting burned. But one drop of pain is 2 drops lesson learned. She said she loved me. So if ignorance is bliss, this is heaven, I suppose. 'Cause I don't understand, and that's the way it goes. Thank you. So, that song is in the vampire song category, what I call the vampire song, because a former student of mine came to me and she sent me about 2/3 of this lyric and she says, "I'm not sure what to do with this." And I said, "I am." And so I got to use all of her fresh, dramatic, romantic trauma. Oh, it's delicious. Now, Kathy and I have been together for 35 years. That's not my story anymore. But it's fun when I play these kind of songs that people come up to her and they go, "How do you feel about the fact that he writes so many songs about shit that's not working out?" And I love her answer, "Are they about me? Why do I care?" So it's nice. Because if the roles were reversed and Kathy was constantly writing songs about relationships that didn't work out, I would feel like she was trying to tell me something. It might be a vortex. It might be a dream. It might be that pizza with kale and sardines. A bit psychedelic, a bit over the top, a bit transcendental, and I can't make it stop. It's the end of my future, the start of my past, a warp time continuum. Einstein might ask, "Are you coming or going?" And I would have replied, "You're the brain, Mr. Egghead. I'm just here for the ride. I need a commitment." She barked out her demands, while my indecision dripped right through my hands. But if time's a burrito, an infinite wrap, I'll catch her on the flip side the next time we overlap. 'Cause it's the end of my future, the start of my past, a warp time continuum. Hawkins would have asked, "Are you coming or going, son?" And I would have replied, "You're the brain, Mr. Egghead. I'm just here for the ride." There's a parallel and a paradox and a paradigm and a pair of socks. And that paraquat and my periscope and your parakeet, like a pair of dopes, traipsing across the universe. For better or worse. I suppose it's all relative, or more ephemeral than that. Like Mr. Bell's theorem, or Schrodinger's cat. A subjective equation, a riddle for sure. The cosmic unknowable, the bewildering blur. Hey, that's her, the end of my future, the start of my past, a warp time continuum. Doc Brown might ask, are you coming or going, son? And I would have replied, you're the egg, Mr. Brainhead. I'm just here for the ride. I'm here for the ride. Every wave, every particle, however you identify. We're all here for the ride. Thank you. So that's the most recent song that I've written with my friend Don Henry, and now I'll play the first song that we ever played, that we ever wrote. She's picking up the dishes and pieces off the floor and pulling out the silver that's embedded in the door. When I've been out drinking and I try to sneak home late, she don't throw tantrums, no, she just throws plates, missing me, missing me. Yeah, we may fight, but I'll be all right as long as she keeps missing me. Now, ordinarily, I would say true story, except Kathy's here. She's got a deadly aim. She loves to toss a salad. She can really chuck a roast. I've had to duck a turkey and miss the gravy boat. I never used to worry. Let the chips lay where they fall. But health's got no fury like a woman with a bowling ball. She went to see the doctor and he stared into her eyes. And she came home wearing glasses. Now I think I'm gonna cry. 'Cause now she's 20/20. And it don't look good for me. God, I miss the good old days back when she used to be missing me. Missing me, come on, miss me with your best shot, just for old time's sake. You don't know where she is, but it's fun to watch people go. At her. I said, why do you always find something to sit behind where no one can see me look at you? And she just goes, why do you think? So, my friend Annie Mosier and I wrote this song in text, and we had no plan. She's a busy person. She's got 2 kids, and she's a wellness instructor and a touring songwriter and just crazy busy. So we finally decided let's just sort of like word association. I'll just send you a single sentence. And for those of you in the room who are in any kind of creative endeavor, any writing endeavor, do something outside the way you usually do it. You know that glib expression, trying the same thing over and over again and hoping for a different result is the recipe, is the definition of insanity. Well, no, it isn't. But it certainly can be the definition of creative stagnation. So try something new, just do it. So that's what we did. I thought, I'll send you a sentence. I won't think too much about it. You send me the first thing that comes to your mind. I won't think too much about it. Let's not try to control it. So she said, okay, you go first. Perfect. So I said, this is not the first day I remember. I thought, okay, pretty open-ended, right? It could be a lot of things. And she wrote, daffodils in January snow. Fuck. Already completely outclassed. It's not a competition. She's already winning. So I wrote, and in that moment, they stay frozen there forever. Sort of earning my way back in my mind. And like, and then this sentence, the day I had to learn to let you go. I was furious. So good, so poetic, so good. I was just furious. I called her, I said, what about the part where we're not gonna steer it to go anywhere in particular? Now it's this song called Learn to Let You Go, and it's an AABA form where that exists in the title at the end of every, and she goes, I know. Let's get back to it. So we hung up. And we wrote another verse, even as the summer starts to falter. And she says, and the autumn leaves begin their splendid show. Oh. I remain unmoving as Gibraltar. And she types, the day I had to learn to let you go. Oh, I hate her. So good. So then I called her, and I'll spare you the 45 minutes of our infantile behavior, where she said, but you know what? And I said, I do know what. She said, you don't know what. And I said, I do know what. She said, you don't know what. Anyway, that went on for, I'm honestly, 45 minutes. That's how infantile we are. You don't, you do. I do. You don't. Okay, let's go at the same time. And we both said, that's not the second verse. And it wasn't. And I don't know why either of us knew that, but we did. It took 6 weeks to write the actual second verse. The first part of the song took way less time than it has taken me for me to describe it to you. Just like as fast as you could possibly go. And it was really fun because we didn't have any, it was not about anything. It was just about the words and where they took us. And so we got about that much written, and I said, can I start on the music tonight? And she says, if I don't. And so I started, and I beat her. So we had a conversation about it then, and I'm letting you look behind the curtain because this song is not about what it ends up being about. And I've heard songwriters say this before, and it never made any sense to me. Oh, I wrote it, but I figured out what it was about later. I went, that's... Well, it finally happened to me. I didn't have anything in particular this was about. It was just about the words and the made-up story. And then it turned into something after that. But the reason I'm telling you about it is because it's not like a joke where I can dismantle it and then the punchline doesn't work for you anymore because you know it's coming. There's something going on in this song. We accidentally got onto something. I want to talk about that in a minute. Where even though I tell you exactly where it came from, I think it's still going to work. So let's find out. This is not the first time I remember daffodils in January snow. And in that moment they stay frozen there forever. The day I had to learn to let you go. The new year casts a shadow on December. The firelight with faces all aglow. The last time we were all together, before I had to learn to let you go. No one can say, 'cause nobody knows just where you ended up. Light years away, or just down the road, you were gone, that was enough. So even as the summer starts to falter, and the autumn leaves begin their splendid show, I remain unmoving as Gibraltar, that's what's called for. This is how I've learned to let you go. Light years away, or just down the road, you were gone, This is not the first time I remember. Daffodils in January snow. And in that moment they stay frozen there forever. The day I had to learn to let you go. I will learn to let you go. I got to tell you the really cold-blooded part about it. We sort of, what does the second verse need to do? Well, we don't want it to just be another song about a romantic breakup or just so. And he goes, we want it to be an equal opportunity grief opportunity. Yeah, like let's tell it in such a way that whatever that loss is that somebody's felt, that somehow they can find themselves in this song. So we constructed this so incredibly left brain. And then somehow, now it also makes me think about my mother. Go figure, not my intention. Actually, it makes me think about your mother. Trying to reel up out of the pit. That girl, first saw her in the checkout line. I didn't really pay no mind till I saw her in the parking lot. That girl, she came walking up to me. She said, I think we're meant to be. I told her that I think we're not. But you know, some people, they just won't take no for an answer. No, they won't, even when you're giving them the old heave-ho. Right then I knew I'd have to start shopping at a different store, 'cause she would not be ignored. It wasn't my Safeway anymore. That girl, I could tell she really got around, 'cause overnight she tracked me down, started camping out in my backyard. That girl, she was caterwauling all night long, singing her siren song, thought I was gonna need a bodyguard. Now I know better and I never did a thing to lead her on, but she wouldn't get gone. She kept coming on strong. There was nothing left to do. I was gonna have to call the cops, install some deadbolt locks, because she would not stop. She was as subtle as a house on fire, might lead one to inquire what was her damage. One night she threw a couple rocks at me, but I think quite possibly it's just her love language. That girl, just when I thought the coast was clear, she showed up in my rearview mirror. 4 a.m, I know. Then I saw her hiding in the bushes later on that day, and I swear that I heard her say, play Misty for me. Looking back on it now, I know it seems a little far-fetched, and you might well suggest that the truth's been stretched. Say what you will, I stand by every word. It's just the facts as they occurred. I know it sounds absurd, but that girl, she just would not refrain from her tireless campaign, and it was pretty scary. That girl swooped in like a wrecking ball, chased me all the way to City Hall, where we got married. And we're still married. And it's still scary. That girl. Thank you. So silly. Silly and fun. So I have a collection of coasters with me tonight because everyone needs a coaster. You have some piece of furniture that you need a coaster for, and they also like frisbees. They fly flat, flip, fly straight, tilted, flip curves. So they're very useful. They used to have another function, but no one's really been able to figure out what that was. They used to be able to use them in vehicles, but that's no longer true. Used to be able to use them in the home, but that's no longer true. So I'm just marketing them now as coasters with a prize inside. They're colorful. Are you all right? Am I all wrong? How do you remember our time? As a battle of will or a contest of skill? What is it that sticks in your mind? I couldn't make you talk to me. It cut me to the quick. I couldn't make you talk to me, and I tried every trick. And when you wouldn't talk to me, I tried to let it pass. If you're not gonna talk to me, then I'm not gonna ask. What have I done now? What have I said to make you act like you want me dead? No words or violence to break my bones. Only your silence like sticks and stones. Like sticks and stones. Anyone strong if nothing goes wrong? And there is no cloud in the sky. But when the going gets rough, that's a true test of love. And we did not score so high. Too much resistance now. Damage has been done. Can we go the distance till we're standing in the sun? If you would promise that you try and make amends, then I won't have to ask again and again. What have I done now? What have I said to make you act like you want me dead? No words or violence to break my bones. Only your silence like sticks and stones. What have I done now? What have I said to make you act like you want me dead? No words of violence to break my bones. Only your silence like sticks and stones. Sticks and stones. Sticks and stones. Sticks and stones. Oh, like sticks and stones. Like sticks and stones. Thank you. me see here. I'm going to play one more song in this set, and then I believe there's Twister and a tanning bed and some life cycles, palm reading, food trucks. Maybe not. There's gonna be some talk if she comes out. Foundations will be rocked if she comes out. Some will be thunderstruck, both in and out of luck. They'll say she's run amok if she comes up. Really fun to use that word in a song. She's gonna take some flack if she comes out. They'll talk behind her back if she comes out. Forked tongue and serpentine hissing behind the blinds. They'll lose their narrow minds if she comes out. She's got her reservations, why wouldn't she? So many expectations, who she's supposed to be. Squares won't understand if she comes out. Their fit will hit the shan if she comes out. Languid and bittersweet to sail against the fleet, but its fate accompli if she comes up. Does it telegraph her intentions? Does it wave a flag? Doesn't want to be the center of attention or the next hashtag, but she'll be on TV if she comes out, shaking her family tree if she comes out. Will they warm up in time to her new paradigm? Find out it's not a crime if she comes out. No, she's done nothing wrong, and if she ever drops the bomb, well, she'll still be my mom if she comes out. Stick around. Thank you. Thanks for not bolting when you had the chance. Oh, that's a cool poster. Yikes. Yikes, that is really beautiful. I'd like to take this opportunity to go around the room and have each and every person stand and tell a little bit about themselves. There's always one person who's a little too anxious to go first. I'll go. My friend Steve Nelson passed it's been a year ago now, and he wrote Pooh Bear, Winnie the Pooh Bear, and he wrote Songbird for Barbra Streisand. He was the musical director and composer for the TV series Webster. He wrote a song that was recorded by Paul Anka, and Paul Anka was sort of the songwriter. For those of you who don't know, Paul Anka is the person who wrote My Way, the Frank Sinatra big hit. In addition to all his own, he was a behind-the-scenes songwriter for many, many people. So to have somebody like that record your song, quite an honor. So Steve had an illustrious career, but he had terrible, terrible luck with women, as many really, 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 really nice people do. I don't mean have trouble with women. I mean, we all know. Let me just get the shovel out and dig a deeper hole. Is this live streaming? Perfect. Greg Carothers says many people have trouble with women. We both know people. We all know people. Just shut up and play a song. We all know people who can't find somebody, and they're great, and for some reason it just doesn't work for them. And for Steve, he was living on the 6th floor walk-up with 12 cats. I think he thought eventually the UPS driver would fall in love with him. Somebody coming to his door. I said, "You order a lot of to-go food?" He goes, "Well, yeah, it's 6 flights of stairs." I said, "Yeah, for them, too, you know." So he eventually moved. He grew up in New York, lived in LA. I met him in Nashville. He moved back to Massachusetts because he was having continuing health problems, and his TennCare went away, and there was no, as we all know, there's no national health care in America. So he moved back to Massachusetts, where he could be covered by the state plan. And within about 6 months of being there, he met somebody. It was amazing. Now, Nashville is ultra right, ultra conservative Christian. In the last 20 years, they've stopped burning crosses on the lawns of synagogues, but it's not the most friendly place in the world to ethnicity. So I thought Steve was not in a good hunting ground, being an ultra-left Jewish man from New York. I thought Nashville was going to be a hard place for him to find somebody, and it was. But he moved to Massachusetts, found somebody almost immediately. And he called me on the phone. He said, "Can we talk on Skype?" And we got on Skype. He goes, "You know, you and Kathy have been together longer than anybody that I know of our generation, and you seem really romantic, and so I thought it would be really good luck for Lisa and I if you and I wrote a song right here at the beginning." I said, "Okay." He said, "I want to call it, I Love the Way Your Love Makes Me Feel." And I said, "You're going to have to write that with somebody else." I mean, I'm a very romantic person, but that's a little sappy for me. I love the way you're lying. But his face just fell. I was like, oh, okay. I'll figure it out. Here's what we came up with. I've been a liar, I've been the lie, I've been the junkie, I've been the high, I've been the genius, I've been the fool, I've been the outlaw, I've been the rule, I've been the grifter, I've been the con, I've been the king and I've been the pawn. That's the life of the vagabond. I've been the freight train, I've been the track, I've been the tightrope, I've been the slack. I've been the juggler, I've been the pin. I've been the scalpel, I've been the skin. I've been the headlights, I've been the deer. I've been the blindfold, I've been the mirror. And I did this long to wind up here on a steady course with an even keel where you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Not if you've got something real. I love the way your love makes me feel. You hardly even notice it's there. Oh, I've been the castle. I've been the heartstrings. I've been the pull. I've been the cape and I've been the bull. I've been the castle. I've been the moat. I've been all three people in the Dear John note. I've been the panther, I've been the prey. I've been the sculptor, I've been the clay. And it took this long to find my way to a steady course with an even keel where you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Not if you've got something real. I love the way your love makes me feel. Little rough water, no big deal. That's nothing that time won't heal. Not when you've got something real. I love the way your love makes me feel. I love the way your love makes me feel. And they broke up 4 months later. Kathy always says, "Why do you tell that part of the story?" I said, "Because I think it's funny. Because I'm mean." Oh man, I hope you're here tonight, but I don't think you are. I sent out an email a while ago, and whoever invented reply all has an evil sense of humor. So somebody forwarded the email to their friends saying, "Hey, Connie, Craig's in town, want to go here and play?" And Connie responded. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. Connie responded by saying, "Oh, I love his music, but he's a bit full of himself for me." But of course she hit reply all, so it came to me. Which made me erupt in laughter and think, okay, well, I don't like that. So I wrote to her immediately and I said, "I know you didn't intend for me to get this, but I hate that that's the impression I've given you, whether it's true or not. Would you please come as my guest to such a show and maybe we could meet?" And her friend wrote to me, she's never coming to one of your shows. She's never going to tell you who she is. She's mortified that you got. I said, "Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. I feel so bad." I tried to reach out. I wasn't having it. But it hurts me. It hurts me. I was born this side of the tracks, under a good sign, in an upscale flat. Got a summer cottage south of Santa Cruz. It's nothing like the blues. I need a job, I get hired. Sometimes I quit, but I am never fired. Haven't been abandoned, haven't been abused. Nothing like the blues. Ain't got the blues, no down and out, not no excuse to smoke about, to mope about. Freudian. People think I suffer 'cause I've been down a time or two. It's nothing like the blues. Got a French press, Swiss watch, Norwegian wood, and single malt scotch. Couple Japanese cars, some Italian shoes. Nothing like the blues. Got a real good woman. She's funny and smart, sweet disposition, and a generous heart. And my sweet baby has never been untrue. Ain't got the blues, not down and out, not no excuse to scream and shout. People think I struggled, but they don't have a clue. It's nothing like the blues. It's happy, but it's true. Nothing like the blues. Nothing like the blues. Thank you. All right. Don't forget. Those vroom bikes are getting more and more realistic. There are people in the room who don't know what I'm talking about, so those of you who do know what I'm talking about, don't pretend you don't. Well, there were, of course, cards in the spokes, but then Mattea made the vroom bike. Never mind. Some songs have stories that help if you hear them first, and some don't. The story is not helpful to hear the story of where the song came from before I play it, but I will tell you afterwards. This is another song I wrote with my friend Don Henry. Shelley, are you around? Okay, good. They say you can't go back again, but here I am, just 100 miles to where I'm from. Now the wheels touch down, I'm safe and sound. I'll probably make it in before the dawn. Schenectady, rolling past the gold and blue, the old high school, driving through the early morning mist, coming to the hardware store where I worked before, across the street from my first kiss. Home, this is home. They've been expecting me. Home, coming home, where they respected me, protected me, connect to me. Schenectady. Mama's waiting in the drive as we arrive. Nothing I can do to dry her tears. Dressed up in my uniform on this gray morn. I finally made it back, but I'm not here. Home, this is home. They've been expecting me. Home, coming home, where they respected me, protected me, resurrected me. Now I'm gonna rest my bones in this field of stone and settle in, 'cause I've got time. Home at last, 'neath the leaves of grass, forever on the far side of the pines. Schenectady. Thank you.
Probably the saddest song you've ever written.
Right down there. I have some sadder ones if you want to hear them. So, Don Henry and I, and a hit songwriter from the Bay Area, some of you might be familiar with, he played a few shows with me here a long time ago, named Steve Seskin. We were doing a workshop in the Bay Area, and Steve had a song on the radio at that time recorded by Toby Keith called New Orleans. And somebody in the songwriting group said, "So Steve, your song is called New Orleans, but it's not really about New Orleans. Why did you decide to call it that?" And he said, "Well, two reasons. New Orleans, because it sings good. But also, New Orleans has a mystique. You know, like the Las Vegas, what you do in Vegas stays in Vegas. New Orleans has a mystique, and so if it's just going to be another song about a relationship, why not put it someplace interesting and use that as the..." And so she seemed satisfied with that answer. And then a little while later, she raised her hand again and she said, sorry to go on about this again, but so are there town names that, how do you go about it? Like, I mean, there's Last Train to Clarksville, there's Wrong Side of Memphis, there's New York, New York, there's all these songs with city names. Are there city names you just wouldn't want to use? Steve's from New York. He says, "Well, I guess if you're from Schenectady, you probably wouldn't want to use that." And Don Henry and I looked at each other and went, "Oh, it's on. Oh, it's on." And so instead of going out to lunch, we came up with, this da 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 Schenectady, going home all alone. It wasn't the right words, but it was sort of that idea and that little music motif. We came back after lunch and just to sort of say, "Yes, you can." It was very infantile, but it was fun. And we brought it back and played it for the group. Anything could work. You could make anything work. And then we thought that was the end of it. And a couple months later, and this, you're going to think this is, all my relationships with my collaborators are like this, but they are. Don calls me, he says, "You know what I'm thinking about?" And I said, "I do." He says, "No, you don't." This went on for ridiculously long. We are fourth graders. And he goes, "I've been thinking about Schenectady." And I said, "I know. There's something there." So we looked it up. And Schenectady is the word that the Mohawks in New York used to mean the far side of the pines, which is where they thought the afterlife was. And we got this goosebump moment of, oh my God, we're writing a ghost story. And so we started doing the research and we looked up the colors of the high school, and it's red and blue, and that doesn't sing as good as gold and blue, so they can fuck off. We're using gold and blue. It's not a documentary. And we wrote this whole song. Now, so fast forward to the next time we're doing a show in the Bay Area with Steve, and I start playing this song, and I get to the Schenectady, and he does a spit take. He just erupts in laughter, and he cannot control himself. I'm trying to play this moody song, and Steve is standing next to me, sitting right here, just howling in laughter. And then he goes, I can't believe you guys did Schenectady. Like you say it like it's so beautiful. How did you? And I said, I'm in the middle of the song. So I play the next round, I get to Schenectady, and he just erupts in laughter again. So at the time, I was furious. But now if I watch the videotape, it hurts me. It's so funny. So funny to watch him not be able to keep it together. But like I said, you never know where a song's going to come from. And that song was like a dare. You act like I'm a stranger, like we've never met, after all we've been through. How could you forget? I've always been there, haven't I? Haven't I been there all along? A true companion. Where did I go wrong? 'Cause you treat me so cold, so cold. I gotta give up on you. Gotta give up on you. You don't know my name. You never laid eyes on me. It's just an imbalance in my brain. Makes me think we're meant to be. But what about those pictures? Look so happy, and what about those promises? Yeah, what about them? You treat me so cold, so cold. I gotta give up on you. Treat me so cold, so cold. I gotta give up on you. I gotta give up. Turn blue. I gotta give up on you. I gotta give up on you. I gotta give up on you. Okay. This is goodbye. Have it your way. We don't see eye to eye. And the voices in my heart quiet tonight. I don't wonder where you are. I still wonder why. I gotta give up on you. I gotta give up on you. Turn blue. I gotta give up on you. I gotta give up on you. All the lies have now come true, and I've turned blue. I gotta give up on you. Give up on you. Gotta give up on you. I gotta give up on you. song with a story that belongs after it. I had a shot at having everything. I knew the good life for a time. But one day I woke up and I realized it was never mine. Now it's time to do or die. To put our selfish hearts aside for a better man than I, Casablanca. We knew full well what we were getting into. All along we knew the score. But we were reckless, we were cavalier. And we always wanted more. But I've seen the error of my ways. We'll both regret it if you stay. So bon voyage, and come what may, Casablanca. It's just an ordinary story. Two lonely people in the world. The lesson of no guts, no glory. Where the hero doesn't get the girl. We tried to make the whole world disappear. We were only on the run. So listen, darling, please don't shed a tear. We always knew this day would come. So chin up and don't be sad. Some things were never meant to last. And anyway, we'll always have Casablanca. Casablanca. Thank you. So, I finished playing that song at the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville, and this woman sort of leaned over and she goes, "That's not what the movie's about." And what I wanted to say was, did I say anything about a movie? But instead I said, "I can't wait to hear your song," which was so mean. Did I say? And here is the theme song that tells the story of the movie of Casablanca. No, I did not. A long dirt road, 1,000 acres or so. That's what he left me. A few hundred head and a ranch in the red. That's what he left me. Nothing I ever wanted, and I can't give it back. Still, it's not easy facing the facts that I made a promise I never kept, a devil's bargain. Jesus wept. I knew I just wouldn't be sticking around like some black sheep in a one-horse town. 'Cause I've got no Stetson, I've got no spurs, no lariat, and I'm afraid of the herd. Not at home on the range or on the lone prairie. The cowboy's life was not for me. A handwritten will and shoes too big to fill. That's what he left me. And all the expectations of 5 generations. That's what he left me. Now I can't live up to the family name, and I don't even feel any shame that I made a promise I never kept. The devil's bargain, Jesus wept. I knew I just couldn't be sticking around like some black sheep in this one-horse town. 'Cause I've got no bedroll, I've got no boots, I'm no good with fences, I can't wrangle or shoot. Not at home on the range or on the lone prairie. The cowboy's life was not for me. I got no bandana, no deerskin chaps. I got no business here in Buffalo Gap. Not at home on the range or on the lone prairie. The cowboy's life, the cowboy's life was not for me. So, thank you very much. So I played this also at the Buffalo Gap, and you know, there's the fashion cowboys. There's a lot of them. They wear hats, they wear Wranglers, they wear boots, but they're not really cowboys. That's a work uniform, you know. There's lots of people wearing that who are working in that every day, and they're kind of people like my great-grandfather that if you bump into them accidentally in the store, you fall down, because it's like bumping into a telephone pole. Some little 5'8" guy who weighs 3,000 pounds. It's not possible. Little 5'8" skinny little dude who's like running into a fire hydrant. I mean, just that kind of work, those guys. Those are the real cowboys, and they exist all over America. But there's a lot of fashion cowboys in Nashville, and everywhere really, but a lot in Nashville. And so this family came in, we were playing at the Bluebird, and I could tell they were really cowboys that just have that look. And it was the mother and the dad, and either their daughter and her boyfriend or fiance or husband, or their son and his, I didn't get to talk to him, so I don't know which it was. But I finished playing this song, and she raised her hand, the young lady raised her hand. I thought, well, how polite in a nightclub to raise your hand. Yes. And she says, I could tell when I first come in you weren't no cowboy. Gee, what gave it away? Which I've come to learn since is her saying, you look soft. Okay, turn on. Also, not exactly rocket science to figure out. What do I do every day? This. Is it aerobic? No. Thank you. Tom drives his truck. Oh, just kidding, sorry. I just gotta write another song that starts like that just to... So you cannot lift the spirit that has turned to lead. Shine a light in shadow when the batteries are dead. Or fly like a bird over all the works of man. Always think of the perfect word, but you do the best you can. Nothing seems as easy as it did when you were young. Myths may be invincible, but we are only strong, strong like a memory, strong like a willow in the wind, strong as you'll ever be. You will always need the bend, and if you feel the weight of the world, put your mind at ease, little Hercules. Times when being a grown-up gets to be too much. Your sense of humor seems to vanish in the crush of the daily 9 to 9. It keeps your family alive. You're just putting in your time. Does anyone really go home at 5? Make a life where no one ever tells you what to do. Now the only tyrant that you're working for is you. But it's never easy to keep all the promises you make. No one's gonna get you fired if you just give yourself a break. And if you feel the weight of the world, put your mind at ease, little Hercules, because there's so much on your shoulder, but you know it's a breeze, little Hercules. So you can outlive the spirit that has turned to lead. Shine a light in shadow when the batteries are dead. But if you feel the weight of the world, put your mind at ease, little Hercules, because there's so much on your shoulder that you know it's a breeze, little Hercules. And if you feel the weight of the world, put your mind at ease, little Hercules, little Hercules, little Hercules, yeah, yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. That song has been quite an ambassador of goodwill for me. They played it a lot on Kink, and then when I got signed to Atlantic Records, it was going to be my single. That never happened. I don't blame the song. I won a few songwriting contests with it. Then it was the beginning of my first publishing deal in Nashville when Trisha Yearwood recorded it. And I keep getting emails from people about how this song has been somehow meaningful to them. I wrote it more than 40 years ago, and it's amazing to me that it's still working. The weird thing is, a friend of mine who was just invincible, just one of those superhuman people, was having a really bad day. And it was like, I think when you're a kid, if you have a good relationship with your parents, the first time you realize your parents are not capable of everything, that they're just human. And I'd never seen this guy struggle with anything. It was amazing. Had a great marriage, great family. Was an incredible musician and had a successful band and a successful music studio. And I bumped into him and he was just feeling so terrible. And I wrote down like a pep talk letter on a placemat in a restaurant. And every single word of that is that song. It was bizarre. And my mother was a very religious woman. She said, well, you were listening to God's radio. She's no longer with us, but no. But I get it. I don't know where it came from either. He brings her flowers every night. They go out dancing on the weekend. He's always romantic and polite. And he buys her little presents for no reason. He's as thoughtful as can be. Guys like that make it hard for guys like me. He goes to church, he doesn't cuss. He's not a drinker or a smoker. He's the kind of guy that she can trust not to lose her mother's necklace playing poker. Yeah, he's the picture of integrity. Guys like that make it hard for guys like me. And he knows what she was wearing when they met. Oh, come on. And her birthday's never something he forgets. He makes her breakfast in bed, and I hear it's delicious. He'll even wash and dry the dishes. And when she's in a mood, he understands. He knows when to talk and when to listen. And when she's pouring out her heart, he holds her hand. He can hear her problems without trying to fix them. And that's where it really just runs off the rails of believable. Yeah, he's a catch, and all her friends agree. Guys like that make it hard for guys like me. And he likes to cuddle by the fireside. And at the ending of Titanic, they both cried. He doesn't suffer from embarrassing dysfunction in the bedroom, and he can even take instruction. He never gives her reason to be jealous. After work, he always goes straight home. He doesn't hang out at the strip clubs with the fellas. He just doesn't have that hound dog chromosome. But he's a 3-time world's best husband nominee. Guys like that. And he runs his own successful company. And he volunteers at a children's charity. And he never gave her hepatitis B. Guys like that make it hard for guys like me. This has been so cool that you guys came out here in the middle of this beautiful day and came into this dark cave with me. I'm going to play 2 more songs, and again, thank you so much. And those of you who picked up coasters, they're very industrial strength. They'll stand up to coffee, juice, cocktails. She's got 39 pink flamingos in her backyard, and an orange polyethylene Buddha on the top of her car. Tattoos of Lennon and Santa and one of Jay-Z. She's not making or breaking the rules, she's just free. And there are 39 pink flamingos in her garden plot. Her favorite Beatle was Ringo. She thought he was hot. And she wears Christmas sweaters in August, but she never sweats. It's not her way to complain or dwell on regrets. It's just 28 days since I met her, and I wish it could go on forever. I love everything that she does. I was powerless to resist her, part sorceress and part little sister. But really I fell just because of her 39 pink flamingos. There's bound to be more. Is everything funky or kitschy? That's what she adores. She sucked on quinoa and Kratek, not so much to forgive, 'cause the usual rules don't apply with just 6 months to live. And her joie de vivre never unraveled, even while losing the battle. She was funny and fearless and strong. I've never known anyone like her, part librarian and part mini biker. And I'm different since she came along with those 39 pink flamingos now in my front yard. And that orange polyethylene Buddha in the trunk of my car. I've got a picture of her kissing Santa and one by the sea. And we take it one day at a time, the Buddha and all 39 flamingos and me. "39 pink flamingos, 39 pink flamingos." Thank you. All right, there's a Portland encore thing that I'm not going to do. Okay, come back. Okay, I'm back. Thank you. It always seems so contrived. Oh, should we come back? I'm going to play another song there. No mystery. Thank you so much. Thanks to Artichoke and all you people working here, making this happen. Thank you so much, Shelley. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Appreciate it very much. Some people I haven't seen for a million years here tonight. It's really good. I knew I was smitten already, just like Lady in the spaghetti when oh so elegantly she did her twirling. Strands wound so daintily on her fork while I chased mine clumsily like a dork. Her table manners and poise were really quite sterling. She ordered antipasta, caponata, pan toscana, pepronata, delectable plate after plate. Acquapazza, arancini, panzanella, scallopini. But that's when I made my mistake. Our first dinner date and our last went from dream to disaster so fast when she called me a culinary heretic. And all I did was order deep-fried mozzarella sticks. She did nothing to hide her disappointment, but it couldn't curtail my enjoyment of mozzarella sticks, much to her shock and dismay. Mozzarella sticks, not everything good is gourmet. And I knew she would only look down on me if she knew how much I love Chef Boyardee and mozzarella sticks. I love those part skim troublemakers. Mozzarella sticks. I stand by my cheesy deal breakers. And if that's all it takes to get 86th, then I think I got away just in the nick. And I owe it all to my mozzarella sticks. Thank you very much for coming. So silly. Thank you very much. See you next time. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming.